I was playing golf down in Odessa, Texas one time, and I hit a ball out into the caliche and I could see it. And a couple of these old men go, "What club are you taking in there?" And I said, "Well, I'm about 150 yards out. I think I'll take a 7-iron." And they go, "That's not big enough." And I said, "Well, anymore, I'd hit it over the green." And he said, "If I were you, I'd count it as a lost ball." And I said, "No, I can just see that ball." And pretty soon they went, "Shh," said it's a lost ball. And sure enough, yeah,
That's good. Polar bears.
yeah, just polar bears. And, yeah. There's moose that you have to there's moose that you have to deal with at Jackson Hole too. And Teton.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can,
Yeah.
Can you hear
Yeah,
us?
I'm gonna keep you on mute because I'm gonna be driving, but just wanted to say hi.
Ooh, be careful.
All right, will do.
She's in a semi or behind a semi?
She said she was driving. That's what she said.
Oh,
She said, I'm driving.
oh.
Did you think she said, she
I
said she
thought
was in
you
a
said
semi?
I'm in a semi
No, I think
or
she said
behind
I'm,
a semi.
no, I think she said I'm driving.
No, I know.
We might want to clarify that with her. I don't know. Didn't look like she was in the semi.
Definitely just driving. I'm not in a semi.
Thanks, Kim.
Yeah.
Oh, I better put my phone on silence.
Yeah.
Silence is golden.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm going to write down 800 building here, Ireland, and then I will remember I'm supposed to talk to you about that. Hayden, you look sad because you're not in control.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, it's time to begin. So we will begin the Butler Community College Board of Trustees regular board meeting at 4:30 Tuesday, May 14th in the Danker Trustees Room. And if you will join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, approval of agenda. One issue is that we're going to end up having 2 executive sessions this evening. The first one, if you're willing, would be before item 9, board action items would be the first executive session, and our attorneys will join us then, and then we'll have the other executive session as scheduled on the 12th. Item number 12. So there's that. Do I have other additions to the,
It's like we talked about the focus today.
okay?
Do you want to do that as part of my presence report, or do you want to just do that as a discussion?
I was just gonna do the more of this report. I said, hey, what I did.
Why don't you just do it? Well, I mean, I'll do my presence report and then you can do it, tag on to that. Is that okay? Okay.
So that'll be an addition to F.
Because I'm not giving a report on
Yeah.
the EFABC.
Okay. Anything else?
Would it
There are,
work to just replace item 8, board strategic discussion with an exec session, since we have no strategic discussion items?
Okay,
Oh, it could be item 8 then.
be
Is
number
that what you
8,
mean?
that will work.
I would move that we amend the agenda to remove item 8, board strategic discussion, and replace it with a new item 8, exec session, and we'll address the language when we go into exec session.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded.
Trustee Good, Yes. trustee Brungart,
Yes,
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes,
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
okay. And do we need to have another motion?
Yeah.
Or?
No,
for
I'll
the
just
full
add
agenda?
Shelby's to my presence
We need
report.
to approve it as a.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I wasn't
Second.
thinking
Okay,
What did you remove?
nothing.
Move to approve the agenda as amended.
Trustee Good. Yes. Trustee Brungart,
yes,
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
yes,
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
okay. Next item is recognitions.
I have one recognition for Bill Rinkenbach at the Student Life Awards. Last week of April. Bill was recognized with the Disability Services Advocate, the Disability Advocate Award. And they give this award each year. Teresa Eastman and her folks in Disability Services give this award each year to really recognize somebody that's been supportive of disability services and who really embraced the spirit of the Americans with Disabilities Act by recognizing individuals with disabilities and supporting the work that our folks do. And so you can read in the board book there what's been written. But Bill was recognized and it was really fun I think he was pretty surprised. So thank you. There were a few tears in his eyes, actually. Yeah, yeah. So thanks, Bill.
Okay, at this time, we have one public comment. The general public is welcome to address the Board of Trustees under the public comment section of the regular board meeting agenda. Public comment should be germane to the business and activities of the Board of Trustees. The public is also welcome to address the Board of Trustees during the public comment portion of any special meeting agenda, but the public comment at the special meeting should be relative to an agenda item of that special meeting. Personnel issues are prohibited. From public comment, the board chairperson will ask visitors wishing to make brief comments to identify themselves and the topic they are wishing to address. If several members of one group or organization wish to speak to the board concerning the same item, the board chairperson may ask the group to identify a single spokesperson. A time limit of 5 minutes has been set for each recognized member or spokesperson of the audience to speak to the board. The board will take no action during the public comment period of the board meetings. However, it will take the matter under deliberation and, if appropriate, direct the president to follow up with a written response and report at the next regular board meeting. So we do have one request for Caden Warner.
I am sure that you all had thought that you'd seen the last of me, but here I am back one last time. And I'm here to talk today about my experience at Butler. As many of you know, I was part of the sports media program in the mass communications department, and I cannot say enough good things about it. BCTV and sports media partnered together kind of officially for the first time this academic year. And I think that's absolutely one of the best things that could have happened to the program, as before that, it was primarily just radio broadcasting and putting games on the campus radio station 88.1 The Grizz, which is all good and well. But with this, you're giving the students so many opportunities that they would not have gotten otherwise. BCTV has given myself and all the other students opportunities that we could not have gotten elsewhere at any other community college in Kansas. For example, I was part of a lot of firsts for BCTV and sports media. Specifically, the very first ESPN broadcast that was done for Butler Community College I was a red hat for that. So basically just a commercial break coordinator. And that was such a special experience. And I hold that so, so highly for my time here. And I know a lot of other students do as well. Since that broadcast in late October, or actually, I think it was maybe early November, it was one of the two. Since then, BCTV has produced hundreds of athletic events and beyond, including yet another ESPN broadcast for track at Wichita State that happened back in March. So lots of ESPN opportunities are being given to these students that are part of it. And we're getting real hands-on experience with sports broadcasting, whether it's calling games, directing games, or doing anything inside the trailer, running a camera, which honestly, our cameras and the monitors that we have for our cameras are better than some professional sports organizations that are in the area and in other areas of the country. You'll get a chance to do just about anything that you want here in sports media. And with anything that comes with a live broadcast, not only is there incredible opportunity for live broadcasts, but for studio productions as well. I had a hand in creating the Monday morning sports report. That was brand new this semester for BCTV and sports media. It was basically just a live, or not live, it was live to tape. And it would air every Monday morning, just updating Buco athletics. In my opinion, Butler should be regarded as the premier destination for sports media at community college level in Kansas. Because of my experience at Butler, I'll be going on to the University of Kansas this fall with the experience of a senior, but I'll be entering as a junior. All the experience that will get me that status came from nowhere else but here. Butler is always going to be a part of me moving forward. It's helped me grow and become who I am today. So thank you, Butler. Thank you, BCTV. And thank you to anyone who has supported Butler sports media in any way. Also, a huge shout out to a couple of people. One right there, Matt Jacobs. He's given me so much guidance, not only in sports media, but in life as well. Him, Tyler Nordman, and Garrett Hanks were all instrumental in teaching me what I know and getting me where I am. Additionally, before I go, I want to say a quick thank you to a couple other people in the more academic or residence life side of things. Melanie McLemore and Allison Trammell, the director and assistant director of housing, they both served as a second group of parents to me and my girlfriend while we were here at Butler being RAs. And they mean even more to her. She had a lot going on this semester, and they really stepped up for her, and I can't thank them enough for that. And I don't think she could either. I'm not going to go into the details on that, but they've done so much for me and her. They're two of the most genuine and kindest people that you could ever meet on this campus and in life. They took the time to listen to us, to vent about personal issues, and even came to our graduation party on Saturday night. I know that no matter where I am in life, I can always count on them and Butler to be there for me. Also, please, whatever happens in the coming years, please tear down West Hall. And not only tear it down, but bless the ground that it stood on, because there's some bad juju over there. I don't know what it is. There's something up with it. Get rid of that thing. But thank you.
Thank you, Katie.
Good job, Katie.
So do we have anyone else?
So long, farewell.
Thank you. Obviously, guys, thank you.
Thanks, Kate,
Thanks,
for
Kate.
everything.
Uh,
Hey, while he's still standing in the doorway here, just let me tell you real quick. I'll tell you this in my president's report, but the students won KAB, Kansas Association of Broadcasting Awards. And he talked a little bit about his Monday morning, sports show, but Caden won first place, visual best sportscast, Monday morning sports report. Second place in audio podcast, and honorable mention for audio sports color commentator or reporter. So congratulations. Yeah.
Remember us when you get to ESPN.
Yeah. Send money, right?
Send money.
So do we have anyone else wishing to make public comment this time? If there are none, we'll go on to standing reports. Emily's on Zoom.
Oh. Didn't know if she would be joining us.
Hello, guys.
Hi, Emily.
If you guys can see me, hello from Wichita. I'm Emily Hernandez, and I am your Student Government Association president, bringing in our last SJ report of the semester and school year. April 19th, Friday, April 19th, student government handed out replica t-shirts of our baseball jerseys to all students at their game against Kobe. And April 24th, Wednesday, April 24th, student governments again handed out replica t-shirts at softball games against Kobe as well. I think I'm Seward. Sorry about that. And later that night, SGA had their last Student Government Association president event for their Spring Fest block party. We had a turnout of about 75 students. We had inflatables, we had pizza, snacks, drinks, music brought to from our Butler radio station. The students had a great experience, a great time. It was a great way to kick off the summer. And then our finals week, SGA partnered with Residence Life to make some stress-free bags for our late night breakfast. And in those, we also had a ticket for all students to have a free coffee at our Butler coffee station at the library there in Butler of El Dorado. And that's our activities for the end of semester.
Thank you for your report.
Emily,
Of course. Yes.
Emily, you've done a great job. Who is going to replace you next year?
They haven't made a final decision. They're still in the interviewing process, but there's a couple great candidates. I'm really proud of everybody that's come up to interview for that process.
Thank you for a terrific job you did.
Of course.
Yep.
Thanks, Emily. Of course. I want to thank everybody for my time at Butler as I am a third year leaving. And it has been a great experience. I've had an amazing time, created an amazing community and family away from home. And I'm so thankful for Butler. Thank you.
Now, where are you
Thank you.
going next year?
I'm taking a gap semester for the fall semester, and I'm looking into going to Friends University for social media marketing.
Oh, cool.
Best of luck.
Good
Well,
job,
Thank you
Emily.
so much. You guys have a lovely evening.
Thank you, you too.
Okay, next we have operational staff report. Zach.
Good evening. So we haven't had a whole lot going on with operational staff other than just the crazy week last week of graduation and all the other things going on. But we have about a dozen operational staff members that have been busy planning our Recharge 2024, which will be held at Botanica this year. And that will be on June 7th. And so that will be our next meeting. We aren't having a meeting this month, but we'll have a meeting next month and hope to see all operational staff there. So any questions? All right.
Thanks, Sam.
If there's no questions, we'll have Dr. Terry Sater give us the professional employees report.
Thank you. Just wanted to let you know that the association leadership has chosen President-elect Camille Freeman to serve on the President Search Committee for the college. So whoever is going to take the lead on that, I invite you to reach out to Camille, and she is prepared to serve. Also, I am supposed to tell you that the leadership of the professional employees looks forward to having board members serve on the board negotiations team for the coming contract. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Board Finance Committee report, Mary Martha or Dave.
I'll do it since on page 72, all of the percentages of the budget are looking in line to get ready to finish up the year. We have May and then June, and what expenses and stuff will be coming in July. So it probably will be August before the books are probably finally closed, wouldn't it?
Actually, yeah, about.
And we still have approximately about $5 million in revenue to come in from the county. And then one other thing on non-mandatory transfers, we see a $86,000 discrepancy, not a discrepancy, but a kind of an expense. That was for the vehicle fleet, the $100,000 vehicle fleet. And I'm assuming that part of that was budgeted money.
It actually wasn't budgeted.
Oh, okay. 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 And other than that, we're looking good.
Any questions or additional questions on the budget? Okay, foundation report.
Foundation Board meets next Tuesday, so I'll have a report at the June meeting.
Okay. Okay, so Educational Facilities Authority, Dave, do we want to just wait since it's
Yeah,
in the?
we're waiting
okay,
on that one.
We'll pass that. KACC quarterly report, Mary Martha.
We honored our PTK honorees in Junction City on April 12th, 2024. Dave went, Dr. Kroll, me, Heather, Bill, Heather, Bill, almost rhymes. I think that was it that attended from the college. It's an excellent luncheon. I always love this when we get to recognize our students. Things that Heather has shared with us, there's a proposal for WSU to start awarding associate degrees. We are very concerned about this and have written several letters to KBOR about our concern for this. They have already awarded PSU that. So don't care for that. The Promise Act, I like this one. They're creating or carving out of the Promise Act where out-of-state students would be eligible to do this on the Promise Act, to take advantage of it, only if they live and work in Kansas for 2 years after that. And then I want you all to mark down the dates of May 31st through June 1st. KACC will be here in the Butler Community College Andover campus. It begins with an afternoon meeting at 3 o'clock on May 31st.
I have more to add to that too, so good. Thanks.
Okay.
Can I,
and-
can
go
I,
ahead.
maybe you'll cover this, Dr. Pearl. What is KBOR? What's the calculus for whether KBOR decides to allow a four-year institution to provide?
They're
associate
allowing
degrees?
all of four-year institutions to provide associate degrees now. really.
Okay, so it's just a matter of time before.
Yeah. WSU's already been approved, right?
Yeah.
They were
Oh.
approved and so it's gonna happen with all of them. When Pittsburgh State came to KBOR, you know, to ask the first time around, they did it under the pretense that they have a number of students that start with them as freshmen at Pitt State. And asked to be able, and so as they continue on, asked to be able, when they finish 60 hours at Pitt State, to be able to grant them an associate's degree so that they earned that degree as a, you know, a benchmark along the way to help them continue to go on, to retain them and continue to go on and finish their bachelor's degree. Well, it's more from there. So it's not just necessarily their own native students that start with them, but the institutions are allowing other students to transfer in hours, and then they'll go ahead and grant the associate's degree.
So we're going to start offering four-year degrees here.
Well, it's crossed our conversation tables a number of times. Yeah, but it's a difficult process to get approved, and probably would be more difficult for us to get that approval from the Board of Regents to offer bachelor's degrees than for the four-year institutions to offer associate's degrees. We're surmising maybe.
So will WSU be offering them independent of WSU Tech, or is it
They-
because of their affiliation with WSU Tech that's causing? it?
WSU actually has offered associate degrees for a long time. It just wasn't a very visible, shall I say, visible pathway maybe. Yeah, so they'll be offering them independently of WSU Tech, but WSU Tech has defined pathways, to transfer into WSU too. So it's a, everybody's trying to bolster enrollments and retain students and get new students and stuff. So it's the work of everybody trying to do that.
Okay, moving on to your report.
Yes, obviously a couple of busy weeks with retirement receptions, lots of retirement receptions that, great people that are leaving us. So bittersweet, kinds of things. But lots of commencement activities too. This is always a really fun time of year and lots of celebrations, lots of stress, I'm sure, as students are finishing up, final projects and papers and grades and faculty trying to get grades and everything done and, get loose ends tied up. But ECA commencement celebration this year, we had 103 students, seniors from the area that we celebrated at ECA. We've had 740 area seniors in the last decade finish their associate degree at the same time they're finishing their high school diploma, which is pretty impressive. Nurses pinning on Thursday night. I didn't get to go to that. I went to Spelvin Awards, but I know that was a really special event. The YouTube video of nurses pinning is out on BCTV. So if you weren't there, you can take a look at that.
And 61 graduated.
61. That's what I thought.
And could you tell us why you weren't there?
I went to Spelvin, to the Theater
Because-
Spelvin Awards.
Because
Because I was recognized at the Theater Spelvin Awards with the L.W. Nixon Award, which is an award for support for the arts.
congratulations.
Thank you. How do you know that? Little bird. Little birds. Oh, is it? Oh, geez. All right. See, I don't spend any time on social media, so I don't know what's out there. Well, thank you. It was really a nice event, but most importantly, it was really recognition of all of the student actors and, best supporting actor, best supporting actress, best, emerging actor and actress. And it was really, really fun to see the students get their awards. It was a lot of fun. And then commencement Friday night, beautiful, beautiful night, perfect weather, really a great event. 1 hour and 18 minutes, I think. Somebody asked us if that was our record, and I said, it's pretty darn close. Huh? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But thank you all for being there. It was really special. And thank you, Shelby, for your kind comments at commencement. That was really nice. Just a couple of, I wanted to tell you about these always kind of happen at the end of the semester, and it's too bad that the students aren't here, but I noticed, KAB, the KAB Awards, since Caden was right here, but Daniel Fee, Caden Warner, Sam White, and Everett Salmons were at the Kansas Association of Broadcasters Student and Student Media Workshop on April 23rd. These happened the end, so we missed the April board meeting. But Daniel Fee and Caden and Sam White all won great awards at that KAB event. And I'll send you the link to the full article about them taking home their great awards. Daniel's from Potwin, Caden's from Wichita, Sam's from Wichita, and then Everett is from Benton. So, and then the day before that, or the 2 days before that, I think it's 21st and 22nd, our students that helped produce the Lantern and the Grizzly magazine, the Lantern newspaper, along with those staff members, were at the Kansas Collegiate Media Conference. And they collectively brought home, what is it? 24 awards. So Ella Boozer, who's from Andover and is the Grizzly magazine, I think she was the editor of the Grizzly magazine this year. She won Journalist of the Year.
Wow.
In the 2-year division, which includes both newspaper and magazine publications. And so that's really a great honor for her. She was recognized at Student Life Awards for, what was her honor at Student Life Awards? Do you remember? Yeah, she had a nice award at Student Life Awards here. And then the Lantern Editor-in-Chief, Bailey Henry of Wichita, earned 7 individual awards, and the rest of the staff received 11 awards for a total of 18. And so again, these folks are competing against 2-year and 4-year institutions and consistently bring home great awards. And so we'll make sure we get recognitions out to, out to these students and stuff. But they had, let's see, Ella Boozer, Jocelyn Vargas, Leonard Arsenio and Jocelyn Clark Guga, Kaylin Thurston, and Oseli Bencomo, Baylor Henry, Megan Wilson, and looks like I'm trying to look through here, and then a couple of prior students, Ania Valdez, Adrian Hogan, and John Meyer, that were former staff members, were recognized as well. So anyway, great stuff. Yes, Ella Boozer. Emerging student leader. Okay, that's what I was thinking. It was something like that, emerging student leader. So, Mary Martha mentioned the KACC meeting that starts on the 31st. The trustee delegates will start to meet Friday afternoon. We'll get invitations out to you, but dinner that we would like to invite all of you to will be on Friday night. Heather sent out a tentative agenda. I think she's running the meeting up until 6 o'clock on Friday, and then she has just dinner at 6. But I think it's typically, hors d'oeuvres and dinner that starts a little bit later. But we'll send you the specific details in Andover in the Kansa room. And then Saturday morning is the trustee delegates and the presidents for the business meeting and stuff. And you can attend that if you want to, but you don't have to. But we'd love to have you come to dinner on Friday night. And then my last thing, and then we'll have Shelby do his little update. I wanted to let you know, I sent you an email yesterday that we met with the faculty, and the contract, I think, has gone out to the faculty. Did it go out today, Terry? Or are you getting some clarification on it maybe or something? Okay. Okay. So faculty, the contract will go out to the faculty as soon as that's done. Shelley, I think, indicated when we met yesterday that she needs to know ratification by Friday. And Terry's always really good about, once he has like 51% or something like that respond, then he lets us know, but it'll then be on the June agenda for you to officially ratify. But the faculty will get retroactive pay and, all of the things that are included in that contract proposal. They'll get all of that. Even though that we're at the end of the academic year and the fiscal year. So Shelby, I think that's all I have, unless you have questions.
I have a question for you, Dr. Kroll, and Heather, this is for you too. At ECA graduation, I had some parents from El Dorado that were very concerned that their students could not wear their cords at their high school graduation. And so, I think I asked if they had called the super and the principal, and they said yes, and they were just told that they were not to wear them. So.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, that's. Had and wore them. So Bill, could you look at that too?
Yes, I will be more than happy.
Yeah, since you're on the board.
There are a lot of schools that, because there are so many, like you saw it at our commencement, some students create their own stoles, and to make it clean and uniform, they just have strict policies, because once you start making exceptions, we have other cords that we recognize, high school students that complete 24 credit hours.
Yeah, that's
Some
right.
schools don't let them wear those either. It's just their school policy.
Some of these students work very hard to get.
They do.
Yeah. Their ECA and their high school diploma, and then we're not allowed to wear them. So,
Also,
Bill, you take care of that.
I'm not gonna tell you it's gonna do any good, but I will
Check
send
into
an
it.
email to our superintendent.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Just have them wear their purple cap.
There you go.
So we didn't ask.
I'm sure there's rules that.
Probably, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Shelby, so
I finally got around to checking out the four of us. I thought it was four bis, I guess. I was instructed otherwise. It's forward visioning, so we can all remember it now. Because the BKD stuff we've talked about for so many years. Carrie showed me the ropes for like an hour and a half or two the first day, just to how to click and move around. And then Bill set us up in one of those rooms, and then Kent and Esom sat in there with me for questions. It is real interesting. You just click on stuff and kind of go down the rabbit hole of what's this section or where, what's percentage of students of this and that. It's just a lot of data you can analyze, like the most basic expenses all the way to the full expenses. And you can go by location. Like for instance, we just clicking around on it, I discovered it. Not discovered, but our student sports or our athlete population is 8% of our students. Oh, that was interesting. And then it would show different trends in different classes, like declared majors. It showed how many declared majors in particular classes, which is not all of them are, not every class has the person declared major there. It was interesting that welding was the highest, because it's like, well, obviously you're going into welding, so you have a declared major of welding. And I had a couple questions that I'll email. And then I had a question like on release time, because I don't understand all that. And then maybe some net revenues on sports. I don't understand the in-state, out-of-state, all that kind of stuff. And then retention, I don't know if that was in there, but I asked you and I don't remember what it was. The retention of, was it the freshmen went up, or what was the freshman? Which is good, is a good thing.
yeah, send us your questions and
Yeah,
we'll,
I got
at the
them all.
May,
I finally got them typed up.
okay, May work session, we can.
Yeah, I'm in the
We could-
directions.
Okay.
But it was
Thanks.
nice to look at. It gives context to some of the numbers that we see. And if you guys want to look at it, I mean, it was fairly intuitive, wasn't it? Although there was one thing I clicked on and everything went screwy. And I'm like, none of this makes sense now because these numbers aren't adding up. I need something like, oh, you clicked. I don't remember what it was. It was at a location or at a.
It was a location which was just correlated with majors.
Yeah, because it threw all the numbers off. I'm like, so you could really get lost in the weeds if you didn't have somebody there to answer the questions, or if you clicked on some of the tab, maybe. But I thought it was really interesting. I personally think it might be good to, maybe incorporate that with like the finance meetings. I don't know if we could somehow in the future do that, but I don't know.
Okay.
But that was it. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, thank you. So next we have moved to have an executive session. And I think Kim
Here's
has
a motion, if somebody wants to make
make
it. Anybody else want a copy of it? I guess Aaron gets to make the motion.
Thank you.
Strategic.
Madam Chair, I move that the board recess into executive session to discuss non-elected personnel pursuant to the open meetings exception for said matters, and that the board, President Kim Carl, Ray Connell,
Canal.
Alyssa Ehrlich, and Shelby Stoltz be included. The meeting will resume in the Dankert Trustee Boardroom within 45 minutes. How'd I do?
Very darn
Excellent.
good.
And I'll second it.
Do we have a motion in a second?
Okay, trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brongart,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
If Ray has not joined yet, I did text him that he hasn't left yet. Okay, so we're gonna wait for just a second, or you can tell me how to
You said Shelby.
to connect.
Oh, I did. Sorry.
You kind of look,
I can't escape him, no matter how hard I try.
her head kind of bopped up like. That's very funny. Yeah.
I was wondering if I heard it right. I don't.
When I was a kid, there were lots of guys named Shelley and Kelly and.
Yeah. Well, we had a realtor here
at 5:08. We returned at 5:51. And we do have an action item as a result of that.
Madam Chairman. The Board of Trustees of Butler Community College finds that the contract of Jeffrey Timoney.
No. You don't have to read all of
Jeffrey
it.
Timoney should be given written notice on or before May 17th, 2024 of the intent of the Board of Trustees not to renew his contract for the 2024-2025 school year.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, that motion passes 7-0. We'll move on to board action items. The first item is retirement of Catherine Gifford and Shelley.
So Phil and I, for this whole list of retirements, we're just gonna, we've got
Okay.
some comments to share about each. Would you like us to just go through all of them and then?
Yeah, I think if it's
That's
okay with you guys, we could do a motion, one collective motion maybe at the end if you want to do that, but they can go through all the comments.
I got ready.
Okay, well, we'll
got what?
start with,
I got a motion ready as one motion.
Good.
I planned ahead.
all right. We'll start with Kathy Gifford. She started at Butler in January of 1994, so has served for 30 years in the biology department. She taught A&P, chemistry review, and general biology. She co-authored and published a general biology lab manual, which has been used by multiple colleges. She's also responsible for developing the first completely online A&P class at Butler. And her dean shared her organizational skills, strong content knowledge, and dedication to students will be missed. Outside of the classroom, she has assisted with the Water Festival and was a sponsor for Phi Theta Kappa, and she plans to spend more time with her family and continue doing taxes during tax season.
Jennifer Montgomery is an associate professor in English. She began teaching in the English department in 2018. She is an esteemed colleague whose work has inspired others in their teaching. She has also made significant contributions to the institution's OER initiative, and that has resulted in saving students significant money on their textbooks.
So moving on to Dr. John Buas. He began in the English department in 2000. They refer to him as their Y2K instructor. Spent most of his early career at the McConnell Air Force Base. He then moved to an office out of Rose Hill and also taught. So he taught in our early college academy at Rose Hill and then also taught in Andover. Has had a passion for the literature of place and culture and hosted multiple trips to areas within Butler and Chase counties for both students and colleagues, and challenged his students to read, think, and write about challenging ideas, and is leading proud of the work that his students have done in response to those ideas.
Professor Richard Arthur has been at Butler since 1998 and has taught English primarily at the Andover campus. He leaves Butler hoping he has been successful in helping students develop a love of literature, which he describes as forming the basis of all learning.
Michael Bohr has been at Butler since 1997. He initially served as an IT technician, managing the Andover campus and overseeing the service desk techies in that program. He then transitioned to become IT faculty, developing and teaching courses in networking and Microsoft administration. He had a positive impact on the lives of countless students, faculty, and staff, and has always enjoyed spending time with his family, working on renovation projects and traveling. And so looking forward to doing more of that in retirement.
Dr. Regina Turner came to Butler in 1992. She became the first full-time instructor for philosophy and religion. Shortly after that, she took over as lead instructor
and did an exceptional job updating all the curricula and assessment data. She has valued her time at Butler and the opportunities she's had to work with the entire Butler community that has made her time so memorable. And Bob Peterson has been at Butler for 43 years and has educated students and enriched his community with all the plays he has directed. The plays he has written include his Alvin the Alligator series, which has charmed thousands of grade school children with lessons about acceptance, friendship, and kindness. In retirement, Bob is looking forward to his third act, where he will work on new theater projects.
And finally, Linda Gimler. While she's only been at Butler for 1 year in our nursing program, she's been a nurse for 43 years and an educator of nurses for 14 years. So the department's grateful that she served this year and really helped our students in their clinicals for third and fourth semester. She also, in her career, has been part of creating content for the NCSBN and NCLEX licensure tests for nurses. And the HEP division is grateful for her service and willingness to step in and help students learn and grow in our program.
So with that, I move that the Board of Trustees accept the resignations and retirements of Catherine Gifford, Jennifer Montgomery, John Buaz, Richard Arthur, Michael Bohr, Regina Turner, Robert Peterson, and Linda Gimler, and thank them and appreciate their many years of dedication and providing great educational experiences at Butler Community College.
Good job.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a
Very good.
second. Could we have roll call,
How was
please?
that?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brongart,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, the next item, contract for Canvas Learning Management System.
I can
Are
speak
you
to
talking
this.
about?
Yeah, I can do that. It's under DOS. Haley is our director of ed tech, so that's who submitted the TFA. Happy to answer any questions you may have. This is our learning management system. Every course that we offer has a Canvas shell for faculty to put content in, upload course syllabi, and keep grades. So this is our contract. I will note also that Amy negotiated this contract very well and saved $166,000 over 5 years.
Wow.
So kudos to her on that negotiation, and glad to answer any questions there might be.
Are there any questions? If none, I would entertain a motion.
So moved, Ms. Chairman.
Okay, second. Second by Forrest, and a roll call vote, please.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Brongart,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Okay, passes 7-0. Next, we have the municipal agreement regarding BG Stadium improvements. Are you gonna? do
I'll
that?
go through that. You've had a chance to review this information. I pulled it out and sent it to you in a separate email and asked that you specifically look at it, before tonight. The turf and track at the stadium are original to the construction of the stadium, so they're 12 years old at end of life, at a point where we, even this last season, worried about injuries because, the turf and the track are just worn, especially turf, from an injury perspective with football and soccer, are worn out. And so there's been a lot of conversation, really over the last year through AFABC about needing to replace the turf and track, and especially then these past months during the spring. EFABC solicited bids from, we went through Greenbush Consortium. Greenbush does the review and the vetting of vendors in a lot of different areas, and then approves specific vendors for different kinds of things. School district will sometimes purchase through Greenbush. The college does, so it's a group that we're familiar with and have worked with. But to save some time on the actual RFP process, EFABC, we decided that we would go to Greenbush because they already had vetted, approved, and approved vendors for turf and track replacement. And so we contacted each of those approved vendors on their website, sent out a request for quotes and bids. We got information back from 3 vendors. The FABC did. Part of the requirement was that they were required to do a walkthrough prior to submitting information, and all 3 of the vendors did that: Mammoth, Hellas, and Mid-States. And EFABC then followed up with Zoom calls to all of those vendors to ask further questions. And even beyond that, some additional questions were posed to each of those vendors. Another callback, not by the entire group, but Bill Young was designated as he is the chair of EFABC, was designated to call them back and get some additional information. And the result of that is that EFABC chose Mammoth to do the turf and track replacement. The cost of that project is going to be about $1.3 million. The city, the EFABC can make that decision, but EFABC does not have any authority to issue bonds or financing kinds of things. And so because each of the 3 entities are represented on EFABC, there was a decision made internally that the city would help with the financing. It's a little less cumbersome through the city and some of the ordinances that are in place with the city to help with the financing on that, rather than to have the college or the school district do it. And so through a lot of work over the last month, probably 6 weeks, maybe even 6 weeks, the city has been working with their bond counsel and their legal counsel to put together a document that will allow the partnership to participate in this financing plan. The city will actually pay for the project with cash reserves that they have, and then we'll issue GO bonds afterwards, and the debt service paid over a period of 10 years. The spreadsheet that I sent to you guys by email has been updated a little bit, so let me give you a new spreadsheet. So you can look at that, pass that around. The foundation has had since the time that the stadium was built, a designated fund for EFABC. As pledges were acquired for the construction of that stadium, there were still pledges that came in after construction was over. And so over time, that fund has been held in the foundation and has increased in value with interest rates and things like that. So there's, in the foundation account, there's just over $707,000 right now in this EFABC account. EFABC decided that they wanted to keep half of that in reserve. So if there's an HVAC unit that goes out at the stadium or something like that, they've got some reserve in place to pay for a project like that. So $350,000 of that fund from the foundation will be used to pay pay a portion of that debt service. So the other, essentially $900,000 will be paid it'll all be paid over time, but from the spreadsheet, you can see that there are already committed pledges for the field from BG Products, scoreboard signage, donor support, and you can see on the spreadsheet that debt service is paid out over a period of 10 years now already with pledges that are committed. Our Pepsi contract has an annual, payment coming in. And so there are funds there to pay this turf and track project off. The agreement that's in the board book identifies that it has been put in place to help identify that on an annual basis, the donor funds that come in, they'll all come into the foundation account. And on an annual basis, then there will be a transfer of those funds to pay to the city to pay the debt service for that year, that annual debt service. The agreement also identifies that if there's, for instance, a donor contribution for that year that comes in late or for some reason, isn't there when the debt service has to be paid, then whatever that difference is at that year, then the three entities would pay that balance, whatever it would be, and it probably wouldn't be very much, but would pay that balance for that year until those funds came in. And when those funds came in, they would go back in. They wouldn't be reimbursed back to the entities, but they would go into the foundation account to pay, so they were there for payment for the next year. So that agreement just allows really the transfer of those funds and really says that if there is 1 year or years where those donor or sponsorship funds don't come in at the right time for some reason, and there's there's debt that has to be paid, or that debt service payment has to be paid, that the three entities would pay that difference that's there. The spreadsheet that I sent to you shows you that on the right-hand side in the little box, kind of right below the spreadsheet, the 10-year, I guess it's more like 11 years of debt service. It shows that if there's any shortfall, some year, we would pay based on our percent usage. And as we get out to 2033 and 2034, where it looks like there is a deficit, then we would pay based on our percent usage. That those numbers look, $100,000 in 2033 and 2034, but we all already have still an ask out for $150,000 at least in sponsorship dollars, and we're going to have those covered through donors and sponsorship before we get that far out. So this just shows you, this gives you a list of the folks right now that we have on our list for donations over the next, mostly over the next 10 years. Also shows you, gives you some assumptions below that that will help you understand the, when the first bond payment is due beginning in 2025. Interest would be due each May 1st and November 1st, beginning in 2025. Principals due in November. So it gives you an idea of when that, when those bond payments, interest and principal are due. The city identifies that their bond issuance right now, they're identifying that probably the interest rate would be around 4.2%. But the city is going to make that capital investment right up front out of their cash reserves, and then we would pay off that debt service over the next 10 years. So what questions do you have that I can answer?
And the school district approved this last night?
Yes, school district approved it last night. The city approved it last Monday night. City commission approved it last Monday night. So we were waiting really on the city commission to approve the whole financing thing. And that's why we're now just bringing it to the school district and to you folks.
Has the life of AstroTurf increased any?
I don't think it is. They still are saying that we would have it's got an 8-year warranty, 10-year warranty, 10-year warranty. The quality of the turf is better now than it was. I mean, the turf is different than it was, 10 years ago, or 12 years ago, sorry.
And for the most part, most of the turfs were 8-year warranties.
So, yeah, so we know we're getting better turf. Certainly, just a better upgrade to the stadium. And the plan is, I mean, obviously, 10 years from now, prior to 10 years from now, you're gonna have to plan for turf and track replacement again, sometime within that 10-year time frame. And so there'll have to be some continued fundraising and donor work being done. The reason that the turf, even though they say it has a 10-year lifespan, probably at our stadium, the reason that the turf, we were able to extend the life of it just a little bit is that our football team doesn't practice on it every day. USD doesn't practice on it every day. It's mostly games, soccer, they, practice different places. And so it doesn't get every single day, use. But the college does use it more than the other entities. As part of this upgrade, the city's actually talking about potentially buying or putting in place framework and foundation maybe that needs to be used to bring in concerts, to have a stage set up on the turf and to not, negate the warranty or anything like that. So the city's hoping that they'll be in a position to use the stadium for some, larger events down the road. So
And there will be a fall event at the stadium.
the Gold Fest,
Yeah.
but it'll be outside of the stadium. We have our football game, our first home football game is the same Saturday afternoon that Gold Fest is going to be. So it'll be a really fun event at the stadium that day.
And how's the scoreboard holding up?
It's okay. I mean, it's Bill's buying up lots of pieces to do replacements, but
Yeah,
so far so good.
So the scoreboard's doing okay. We are picking up spare parts and pieces. Daktronics generally, the scoreboards get replaced. They don't really have very many scoreboards that are that size that are in use that are more than 15 years old. So, we're extending the life as long as we can, just like we do with everything. And we've got spare parts and the ability to work on it. So far it's doing great. I mean, it's trucking right along. So, again, that's one of those situations where it's not used all day, every day. So you extend the life that way, just like we have with the field.
It has not been replaced, correct?
It has not been replaced. We've replaced pieces, but
Pieces, yeah.
they go bad. Oh, yeah, we did replace the control, the EFABC paid to replace the control guts behind the scenes a year ago. So that's been fixed, but the TV itself it's still trucking.
Yeah. Okay, are there any additional questions in reference to that? Okay,
I move that the board adopt the municipal agreement between the EFABC USD 490 and the city of El Dorado for turf and track improvements at BG Products Veteran Sports Complex.
okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Good,
Discussion.
Yes.
Oh, discussion. Is there any discussion?
I just had, just to say my comment. I think it was last year, we had the BKD now for this. Explain to us what our sports are costing us. We lose over 2 million a year in sports. Well, over $1 million a year we lose in football. I don't personally think it's heresy, I know, but I don't see that we need to continue losing that much money. And 10 years of this, that's well over $10 million we're gonna lose, plus the turf, plus the track, plus everything. Some of it, no, I know it'll pass, it doesn't matter, but I'm just explaining. So that's it.
Other discussion? Anyone else have comments? Okay, if not, roll call vote.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
Trustee Brongart,
Yes.
Trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
Trustee Jolly,
Yes,
Trustee Hueslick.
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
okay, passes 6-0.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, I have a motion.
And I'll second.
Motion and second to approve consent agenda.
That came up quick.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
Trustee Brongart,
Yes.
Trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Jolly,
Yes,
Trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Trustee Smith.
Yes.
okay, on to supplemental information. Dr. Mohammed,
Nothing till September. I'm sure.
okay. We've already. We've already gone through monthly statement of revenue and expenditures. Any additional questions? If none, we'll move on. There were no thank you notes, board calendars.
The only thing, only thing is just again, a reminder about the KACC meeting in May. That's not on your calendar, but we'll get specific information, invitation information out to you. So you can get that on your calendars.
Okay.
Are we deciding a different date for the work session?
Oh, yes, please. Thank
Okay.
you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Work session falls on Labor Day,
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day weekend. And so there was a suggestion to either go to Tuesday or Wednesday at 4:30 if you have a preference.
Tuesday works good for me. Forrest, anybody?
I could not do Wednesday. I could make Tuesday work.
Aaron, are you?
There's
I'm sorry, you're moving it to the
Tues-
28th
Tuesday, the 28th
at 4:30.
at
I
4:30.
will make that work if that's what you choose to do.
Okay.
I can do that.
Okay, Kim.
Yeah, Tuesday works for me.
Okay, so I think it works for all. So I
Okay.
take do we
Great.
need a motion for that?
No, we'll just,
Does it work for you, Shelby?
Jennifer can send out a calendar invite, a calendar update. So you
It
have.
doesn't, you'll do what?
If it doesn't work for me, I just won't.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the 28th at 4:30. Okay, second executive session. Is it the?
It's the motion that's already in here.
book?
Yep.
Okay,
Let me look at the people here to start off with. So, we need, I think, first of all, we'll need the board and me. And then, the board and Jennifer and Shelley. Shelley can come in. Bring Jennifer in. 30
Okay.
minutes. How long are you gonna talk about?
well, we said we'd try 30 minutes.
Okay,
But we
okay.
have to come back out. We'll
Okay,
see.
perfect.
I'm gonna use the restroom or, oh wait, maybe need a motion first.
Okay, you want me to try it?
Yeah.
Okay, I move that the board recess into executive session to discuss non-elected personnel pursuant to the open meetings exception for said matters, and that the board, Dr. Kim Kroll, Jennifer Hartman Vise, and Shelley Stoltz be included. The meeting shall resume in the Dankert trustee room within 30 minutes.
Second,
Motion and second.
Trustee Good,
yes.
trustee Brungart,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
yes.
trustee Jolly,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Smith.
Yes.
Thank you. We'll take a quick
You
break.
guys have a quick break. This is my last board meeting. I want to thank all of you for your service.
Why didn't we recognize you? Oh, man.
No, it's perfect. I'm gonna steal this with me when I leave, so thanks, everyone.